First, we have Not for Broadcast. This is an FMV simulation game where you take control of a news show and a radical new government is about to come to power. You can choose the camera shots, you can decide what gets censored and what gets broadcasted. You basically control what the people see. Every broadcast decision that you take will shape the destiny of the entire country. There's 43 hours of full motion video, and that's an actual Guinness World Record. This is rated 94% positive on Steam. What I remember most about this game are the broadcast sections. The nerve-wracking camera switching, trying to censor the right things at the right time, keeping the viewer ratings up while something weird is happening on the screen. The satire is pretty dark, but it never stops being funny. There will be musical numbers, wacky crackpot guests. There were moments that made me say, wait, what just happened? And then, right when I'm laughing my butt off, it hits me with something so heavy and emotional. There are 14 different endings. Also, there are parts of this game that were written and filmed during the COVID lockdown. There's even a broadcast episode set during the lockdown. At times, this game was so uncomfortable and so relatable in a way that most games cannot be. Next, we have Slay the Princess. This is a psychological horror visual novel where you are on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path is a cabin. And there's a princess who's in chains in the basement of this cabin. And a narrator tells you that your mission is to slay her. He asks you not to believe her lies. Interesting, right? What I love about this game is that every choice you make, every single one, changes something. The narrator will react to you, the princess reacts to you, and your own inner voice will react to you. This isn't one of those games which say your choices matter and lead to the same ending. No, this one means it. And the voice acting is so good. I can still hear some of the quotes from the game when I think of it. Now, there will be existential themes to this game. So, if you are into visual novels with great memorable narratives, this one is for you. You will be thinking of this game for years after you are done. Next is Monster Sanctuary. You know how we have been getting the same Pokemon game for about 20 years? So, here's an alternative. This one has monster catching, Metroidvania exploration, and a combo-based battle system with actual depth. And it's rated 92% positive on Steam. This is a monster catching game mixed with a Metroidvania, which sounds weird on paper, but they managed to marry these two genres very well. The combat is 3 versus 3 and it runs on a combo system. Every single action you take in combat, like attacking, healing, buffing, or whatever, fills up a combo meter. And then your third monster comes in and just nukes everything with all that buffed up damage. Now, this sounds simple, but when you start figuring out team combinations, passive abilities, and builds, that's when you realize how deep the combat system is. What I love the most is that every monster is viable. You know how in most games, the monster you fight in the early stages become useless or weak in the end game? Nope, not here. In fact, my team had almost every monster from the initial areas for the final boss. Every monster has its own skill tree, so you can create builds as per your strategy. If you love creating different builds and team combinations for every boss you fight, you will love this one. This is one of the best monster catchers out there. So next we have What Remains of Edith Finch. So this one is a first-person walking simulator where you play as Edith Finch. Now she is the last surviving member of a family with a history of people dying in unusual ways. You return to this giant house in Washington and explore it room by room. Each room is locked, each room contains a story, and each story lets you play as a different family member on the day they died. This one won Best Game at the BAFTA Awards and is rated 94% positive on Steam. So each death is narrated in a different way. There's one that's narrated through a child's bathtub toys, another one through a camera lens, and then there's one through a comic book. The creativity is so good. You can really feel the love and care that the devs have put in the game. Every single one of those deaths will make you feel something different. You will think about some of them long after you have finished the game. Trust me. The whole thing is about 2 hours, so play it in one sitting and don't let anyone interrupt you. So the last one is My Time at Portia. This is a life simulator RPG and it's set in a charming post-apocalyptic world. Yes, you heard me right. It's post-apocalyptic and still charming in a Stardew kind of way. You inherit your dad's neglected workshop in the town of Portia and then you build it up from scratch. You will craft, farm, raise animals, befriend people in the town, explore ancient ruins, fight monsters, the usual. Think Stardew Valley, but with more RPG depth and a rich world underneath the cozy surface. This one is rated 91% positive on Steam. Just like Stardew, this is one of those games where you sit down to play for just an hour and suddenly it's 3 a.m. You have made a workshop, a farm, and you are dating someone in the village. You build stuff, complete requests for people, make friends, and slowly turn your little plot of land into something you are proud of. The people have their own schedules and personalities. There are town festivals, there are dungeons, there are characters you can romance and marry, but there's a catch. This game is slow and sometimes painfully slow. You will start a crafting job and you just have to wait for it to finish. It takes a while to fully open up, so if you want something fast and instantly rewarding, this might not be for you. But if you're in the mood for a cozy but long lasting game, you will love this.